Jane Thomas Morning Blend. It's been more than a decade since 11 bodies were found on the coast of Long Island. While many have attempted to solve the murders, no one has looked into just why the case remains unsolved until now. On Discovery Plus, it's a 2 hour special and companion podcast investigates why, after 11 years and 11 bodies, the grisly case remains unsolved. And here to talk about it are two of the co-hosts, Alex Linkletter and Billy Jensen. Good morning.
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 Yeah, it took a minute there. Alexis, I got a question for you because there's a little bit of a connection with you in this. How did you get started with this?
So I got started in this when a friend of mine from high school got sort of enmeshed in a really strange case where his civil rights were violated by the Suffolk County Police Chief. And my initial goal was to tell that story. It was really a David and Goliath story I found really interesting. I was working in true crime at the time. And when I started researching and digging into the case is when I realized that this same individual, James Burke, also had connections to the Long Island serial killer investigation. And I pulled on that thread and it really just led us here.
Now, Billy, how did you get involved? Because you're a true crime journalist. How's the connection there?
Yeah, so I've been working on true crime for 2 decades now, and being from Long Island, just like Alexis, I followed the Long Island serial killer case, never covered it, but me and Alexis had came to know each other by working on another serial killer case, the Golden State Killer. That one was eventually solved, and we became friends. And she told me about her connection to the Long Island serial killer case, and we decided to join forces. And that's where you get this 7-part podcast and the 2 hour special on Discovery Plus.
Alexis, when I was watching the screener on this, it sent a chill up my spine. You're investigating this and looking through all this. How did it make you feel?
It was a really strange feeling, all of it, because we spoke to all these individuals who were really, really terrified of several of the people we're examining here. And it is hard, you have fear about retribution, and you're also tackling this very grisly, morose subject matter, which is the murder of women. So it was emotionally, a challenge for me, but I really feel so connected to this case, and the storytelling and the exposing of the truth was really just my main priority.
Billy, when you're doing this investigating and being part of this, did you see the corruption not only in the police department but on the political side?
Absolutely. Yeah. It happened everywhere. And one thing couldn't work without another thing. You couldn't have somebody being completely corrupt because you often like to think that the DA's office can kind of keep an eye on both the executive powers that be and what's going on in the police department. But the entire thing was corrupt, and they were all trying to maintain their power any way that they could.
Now, I got a question for both of you. Both of you can either answer it or just one of you can answer it. Do you feel that what's happening in Long Island could be happening all over the country in small towns and large cities?
Yeah, I've said this several times in reference to this project that this project and what's going on in the Suffolk County Police Department really is a microcosm for the abuse of power that we see everywhere in both politics and in police departments. So I do think it's sort of a case study in really in corruption and what those implications can mean. In this case, not solving a serial killer investigation.
Billy, how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. We saw a lot of the police corruption and the police cover ups and the blue wall of silence coming down last year. And we're going to be seeing more and more of that. And, what we were seeing on Long Island, like Alexis said, we really feel is a microcosm for what's happening in a lot of police departments where it's about just trying to maintain power at the expense of justice.
This is going to be very interesting. Let's hope that you guys actually get to do some stuff in other cities, not only just Long Island, but in some other
Mhm.
major cities. Maybe even look into what's happening in some of the Black Lives Matter situations. That would be interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alexis Linkletter, Billy Jensen, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. We're looking forward to Unraveled, the Long Island serial killer on Discovery Plus.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.